Welcome to the Marketing Boost Solutions Podcast. Join host Marco Torres, along with expert guests, as they deliver incredible, proven solutions to your marketing challenges in each power-packed episode.
Welcome back. Today, we're diving deep into the heart of a truly unique event, the Patriots Fest. This independent musical festival brought together an incredible lineup of seasoned musicians and retired military personnel, all united by a shared cause. What made this festival so special? Not only did we hear amazing music, but 100% of the net proceeds were donated to military charities, helping make a real difference in the lives of our heroes. In this episode, I am honored to be joined by some of the festival's amazing guest speakers and musicians and veterans alike. We'll explore their journeys, their mission of Patriots Festival. We'll also be celebrating some of the most distinguished military members, including Medal of Honor recipients, Navy SEALs, Green Berets, and veterans from Vietnam, the Gulf Wars, and World War II. So stay tuned as we uncover the stories, the passions, and the dedication that made this and future Patriots Fest events not just a festival, but a tribute to those who sacrificed so much. And make sure you stay tuned when we announce upcoming Patriots Festival events planned for 2025. So let's dig in. Thanks. Welcome to another episode of the Marketing Boost Solutions Podcast. Today, I am honored to be at the Patriots Festival in Aurora, Illinois, where the entire purpose of this musical festival with all kinds of amazing talent today is to honor active military veterans and first responders and a number of nonprofits in that area as well. My guest currently right now is Carl Krieger. His last name, by the way, stands for warrior, soldier in German, and I introduced to him through Phil Oakley, who we interviewed on our last recent podcast. So, folks, welcome Carl Krieger to the show. We're going to talk about and first, thank you for your military service.
Thank you.
And we want to chat and hear your stories about, and I understand today you are being honored with a award or certificate?
Yes, I am, sir.
Wonderful. Again, thank you for your service. Tell us a little bit about, where you and Phil served together and...
Okay. Phil was one of my soldiers when I was a first sergeant at Fort Sheridan, and he was a good soldier. I had all good soldiers. I was very fortunate to have great soldiers, and my job was to make them better. And they were just good. It's a good soldier, and Phil was the one that rose from the enlisted ranks to the officer ranks.
And I understand when you retired as a command
sergeant major. Yes, and after I retired from the military, I taught junior ROTC at John H. Reagan High School in Houston, Texas.
Tell me some stories about your service. And earlier today, before we hit the record button, you were getting ready to tell me some stories. I want to hear them now.
Just stories, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I got to tell this one about Phil and his buddy Chris. Chris Nolan is Nolan's best buddy, and they hung together real tight at Fort Sheridan when I was the first sergeant. And at the end of the duty day one day, I was going home, but I decided to walk through the barracks before I went home. And the policy then, if you had a girl in your room, you had to leave your door open. So his door was open, and Chris was in there with him, but I knew something was fishy. So years later, when he came to visit me several years ago, I told him, I just want you to know that I knew you had a girl hiding in your wall locker when I went through, but you didn't have to do that because you had the door open anyway, so you were legal.
That's a good one. Now, tell us more about your service. Where
I was in the Army 30 years altogether. I was drafted originally in 1966. In those days, you can join before your reporting date if you were drafted. So I went to join the Navy, actually, because my friend was in the Navy. Well, the Navy recruiter wasn't there, and the Army recruiter said, "Come here, son, I'm going to make you a deal." He said, "How would you like to be stationed an hour and a half from your house?" I said, "Where do I sign?" He said, "I'll give you, your duty assignment will be at a Nike Herc missile site on Lakeshore Drive in Chicago." I said, okay, where do I sign? And that's where I got stationed, on Montrose Beach Park, Lakeshore Drive in Chicago, at a nuclear missile site, which hasn't existed since 1968 or 69.
Wow.
And this was in 66 when I came in. I spent there 2 years. I changed my MOS, which is my job description, from a missile launcher crewman to a military policeman, and because of that, they sent me to Vietnam, or they wouldn't take me if I was a missile launcher crewman. After Vietnam, I actually got out of the Army for a year and a half. Then I came back in and spent 27 more years in the military on active duty. Had some great assignments, been a drill sergeant. Like I said, been in Vietnam, been in Desert Storm, been to Bosnia, been to Gitmo when they had Haitian and Cuban refugees there. Gitmo is Cuba.
Right, right.
And the station in Brussels, Belgium at NATO. I've had some good assignments, and most of all, I had some great soldiers. And that was my job, like I said. My job was provide leadership and make great soldiers even greater.
Wow. That's some serious service, sir. Thank you again for that.
Thank you.
And when you got back from Vietnam, I'm curious, what was your experience getting back? With many of you did not get proper recognition, which is what we're hoping to do today, give you a little bit of some of that recognition that you certainly deserve. But tell us about what that felt like when you came back in those days.
We flew back from Vietnam to Fort Lewis, and the people like me who were ETSing, which means leaving the Army, we were out of the Army in 8 hours with a brand new uniform and all your awards and decorations and that. And then they took you had to pay for it yourself, a cab to go to SeaTac Airport, and I was going to fly back to Chicago. Well, I got spit on at the airport, and they told us that may happen.
Wow.
But once I got on the plane, I was treated well. A lot of people wanted me to buy me drinks and that. And when I got to my small hometown of LaSalle, Illinois, there was no anti-Vietnam, anti-soldier stuff there. They all treated us with respect.
Well, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. So, yeah, because as many, depending upon where they were going in this country, did not get, were certainly not treated well.
Exactly.
And then that went on to, I would imagine, affect them deeply with, along with everything else they experienced, and then coming back and not being appreciated. And then from there, you signed back up and went back into another 27 more years of service.
Yes, I did. In those days, if you were out less than 3 years, you can come back in at your former rank, but you would lose your time and grade. So that was a good deal. I didn't have to come back in as a private. Didn't have to go to any additional training in that. And my first duty assignment then was in Göppingen, Germany, with 404th MP Company, 4th Armored Division.
Wow. Okay. So I turn it over to you. Give us some words of wisdom to those that are listening here. Most of our community is entrepreneurs, business owners around the country that use marketing boost incentives to help grow their business. But in the military world, when you got out, you said you went into being a professor, a teacher?
No. I was a teacher of ROTC after I retired.
After you retired.
During my break in service, I just was looking for any job. I ended up working at a factory in the production control as an office job.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't like it at all. And that's the reason I came back in a year and a half later.
Got it. So what I'm looking for is for young men out there that might be watching this show, or what would you tell young men today that what they should do, whether it be joining the military or not, but what wisdom would you give young men today about success in general?
I would hope that they would do something for the country, whether it be join the military, be a policeman, a fireman, or anything that has to do with their community or with their government. And be a good role model for people that are younger than you, because today's youngsters need good role models.
Amen to that. So folks, one more time, we're here at the Patriots Festival in Aurora, Illinois, celebrating active military veterans and first responders. And we have the pleasure here of meeting Carl Krieger and hearing from his story and his wisdom. Again, one thing to wrap it up, go serve, guys. If you're young listening to this, do something for your country. Don't ask what this country can do for you, but what you can do for this country.
Exactly. And we used the 3 Bs, as the military told us. And the 3 B's he means be good, be brief, and be gone.
Be good, be brief, and be gone. Wonderful. Welcome back, folks. We're here at Patriots Fest, the music festival celebrating and honoring active military, veterans, and first responders. And I'm blessed to be in this position to interview some of these amazing veterans that have risked a lot to give us the freedoms that we celebrate today. I'm here today with Todd Smalenberg. And did I say that right?
You did, sir.
Okay. And Todd is a retired Marine Corps Master Sergeant. Thank you for your service.
It was my honor and privilege. Thank you.
You bet. Thank you. And I see they've already given you one of your award or recognition today.
They did. They did.
Wonderful. So tell us about your service, sir, and hold the little microphone a little bit closer.
Okay.
And tell us about your service and what got you into the military in the first place.
Well, I was born in a military family. So my father was in the Air Force for 26 years, and we grew up with a sense of patriotic duty and selfless service. So at a young age, I seen a Marine in dress blues, and I was hooked.
Wow.
I looked at my mom and said, "What's that?" You know, because I knew the Air Force, and I said, "What's that?" She's like, "That's a Marine, honey." I said, "Whatever that is,
Whatever
I'm
that
be,
is.
you know?
I like the uniform.
And so then I learned more about it when I was 8 years old, and I learned that to be the best of the best, you had to be a recon Marine. So I said, I'm going to be a recon Marine. And I enlisted, went guaranteed infantry, and passed the screening and assessment and for reconnaissance, and I passed it right out of the School of Infantry. And I got to serve my whole career in Marine Force reconnaissance.
Wow.
And so it was a great career. Loved every minute of it for 21 years.
Wow. And what do you do now that you're retired?
Well, I was a slow learner for another 18 years, so I continued working for the government in the classified realm and continued to deploy all over the world for a total of 39 years. And then we moved back home to Michigan 3 years ago.
You only look 49 years old, so you started at 10 or so.
I started at 17. I graduated high school early, and I enlisted and took off for boot camp. And then just continued doing what I did for the 39 years. Until my body just let me know that I couldn't do it anymore. And so moved back home and retired. And then last year, a group of folks came and convinced me to run for office after I said no. So now I'm running for state representative of Northeast Michigan for the 106th District.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, thank you again for your service there, and now your service to the country again. 39 years?
39 years total. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, my body took a toll on that, so I had a really great career, though. I loved every minute of it.
But folks, this festival is not a political rally. It's all about God, country, and family. So, I mean, if you still love the red, white, and blue, then you should be at the next Patriot Fest, and make sure you come and celebrate with all these amazing artists and bands that we've got going on. And again, thank you for your service, sir. Let me ask you another quick question here before we go. What would you say to young men today or young women that are considering the military and or giving them advice in general in life and being successful?
Well, being successful is understanding that nothing is given. It's all earned. You have to work hard for everything you do. This is the greatest country in the world. I've been in every major continent, and I can tell you from firsthand experience, we have the greatest country. Hence why people are literally breaking down our door every day. They're not running away. They're running
in.
And everything. So we do have the greatest country. You know, and Ronald Reagan said it best. You know, we're one generation away from losing it, because freedom's never free. You know, you have to go out and work hard to preserve this great constitutional republic. You know, our forefathers fought and died. You know, people fought and died to get, you know, amendments changed throughout the history of this nation and everything. So by us lying about it and pushing false narratives and everything else, it does an injustice to everyone that fought and died for this country, whether they're in uniform or they're civilians fighting for equal opportunities and rights. You know, so we got to stop the false narratives, because there isn't anything systemic. Systemic means wide reach, right? It would be completely, you know, and we wouldn't have got to meet a major general retired, first female Hawaiian major general that was selected to general officer. We couldn't have her if we were systemic racist.
Right.
We couldn't have Barack Obama as president. We wouldn't have CEOs and admirals and generals and everything else, elected representatives. So we need to stop lying. And we need to be proud of who we are as a country, because we are great. We're not perfect, but we try to be perfect. We're supposed to make America great as parents and grandparents,
Right.
but yet we made that a bad thing, making America great. It's not. We need to be proud of who we are as a people.
And we need to teach our young ones that.
And that's the most important thing. We got to stop the schools and the education for telling them these utter lies, and teach them the civics and teach them patriotism and show them what we've done as a country and as a nation. Show me one other country that has a cemetery here in the United States. You can't. But I can take you to Europe and show you American cemeteries overseas where we stopped tyranny and oppression. Right? So let's teach our children that and show them what a great country and nation we are. And let's stop this division. Turn off the TV, turn off social media, and talk to each other, because we're better than that. Because this is the greatest country, and I'm proud to be an American. And I'll push that until the day I go in the oven, But I raised my children to do that, and now I'm raising my grandchildren to do that, And I want to make it better every single day, because our kids and our grandkids deserve that.
Absolutely. Amen to that. Once again, thank you for your service, and thank you for that final message. And how can people find out more about you and your cause and your position you're running for now?
Oh, well, today's not about that, but, my website's SmalenberG.com. Smalenberg spelled Smalenberg.
Those notes are in the show notes below. Click below to find out more, how you can support the cause, and find out about the Patriots Fest and how you can participate in supporting these nonprofits and these military veterans and our first responders. Thanks again. Thank you, sir, for being on the show.
Thank you, sir, for having me.
It's time to wow, surprise, and impress your clients with the most powerful customer draw card available anywhere. The Marketing Boost Solutions Show is brought to you by Marketing Boost, where you can get valuable travel and restaurant incentives to drive your leads from prospects to paying customers. Now you can offer complimentary hotel stays in over 130 destinations worldwide. Go to marketingboostsolutions.com and try it for free right now.
Welcome back. We're here with another artist from the Patriot Fest, honoring active military veterans and first responders. This has been a fun event so far, and the bands keep getting better as we go along through the day. Right now, I'm speaking to Nate Venturelli. Nate is on the show with us. Nate, tell us about your band. Tell us what's going on today.
Yeah, man. We're a band from Indiana. I'm actually a welder. I do this on the weekend. And we're excited to be here, man. It's good for a good cause.
It is a good cause. What does the event mean to you and your guys?
So it's, veterans mean a lot to us, because if we couldn't be doing this if it wasn't for them. And a lot of people seem to forget that. And they don't know what it's like being over there. And I don't know what it's like being over there, but I know it's a rough life, and I want to, support them in any way I can.
Yeah, me too. I've never been in the military, and really have to take my hat off to them all and thank them all for their service. Doing my part here to support and help fundraise for the event. So by the way, if you're watching this, there's links below down in the show notes that you can click on and support the causes as well. So Nate, tell us about your music. What sets you apart from others, and what do you enjoy the most about it?
So I write like blue collar songs and stuff like that, and real life things, real problems in the country, and I don't really want to write about the basic stuff. Like I don't need to write another song that's been done 100 times. So I try to be a little different, And most of the stuff is all real stories,
So family is Italian background from the looks of it, with the last name
Yes.
Venturelli. So how'd you end up getting into country? You grew up with.
My mom, my dad, my sisters, they all listened to country growing up. It was all 90s country, and a little bit of like wailing over the years and stuff like that. And I never had like rap on, really. It's not what I liked. So I was just raised on that my whole life, and even my uncles and my dad's side as well. So yeah.
So are you taking music, trying to go professional with it beyond what you do on the weekends now? Or?
Trying, but it's a tough game.
It is a tough
Yes,
game.
yeah.
I've been interviewing others about the business of music. Most of my community, our followers are entrepreneurs. We have about 50,000 entrepreneurs and what have you that follow our podcast. But they're mostly entrepreneurs, business owners, and usually we're talking about marketing and sales ideas. So I'm new to interviewing musicians.
Yeah.
But tell us, in your world, in the business side of the fence, what struggles do you face and with the business of music that you're looking to overcome as time goes on here?
So it's a big competition, pretty much. You know, it's hard to get in front of the right people. You know, and I'm a welder. I've been doing this almost half my life, and it's just not. I'm in a new business now, and I started about 5.5 years ago, and I'm trying to learn how to advertise and market and stuff like that. It's just not what I do, and I'm trying to learn my best to do it. You know?
Folks, another prospect for marketingboostsolutions.com. We're going to have to hook them up.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, that's what we work on, is showing people how to grow their business with, mostly with the use of incentives that we offer. But back to the show here, we're at Patriots Festival, celebrating and honoring active military and veterans and first responders.
Yes, sir.
Enjoying this show. How many guys are in your band?
4-piece, including me.
Yep.
Yep.
And it's all original tunes that you do? Or you
I
do a
do
little bit
some
of
covers now. I got a lot of more originals in the last 2 years, and we got like 28 songs, 30 songs now. So
Sweet.
we're trying to get everything out. It's just you got to find time to go to the studio. You know.
Have you been on stage yet today? Or
Yes,
you're up?
yes.
All right, you were up there earlier. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, sir, it was a pleasure to have
Thank
you on
you.
the show.
Thank you.
And thank you again for your support of this event.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate
No
it very
problem.
much.
Thank you, sir.
You bet. You bet. Welcome back here. We're at Patriots Festival, honoring and celebrating active military veterans and first responders. My guest right now is Creed Fisher, an awesome musician, and I'm thrilled to be here. Can't wait to see you on stage in a little while. Creed is, a storyteller. His music is amazing. Creed, welcome to the show. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic and thrilled to be sitting next to you.
It's great to be here.
So tell us about your background in music and how you ended up on stage like you are today, and with over 100 million downloads or streams on Spotify and others.
Well, I've been doing it about 10 years. I started back in 2012, and just one fan at a time, one show at a time, been working hard at it. You know, I've moved 3 times during the process since I've been into music, and I'm an independent artist, you know, came from the bottom and just worked hard and kept touring and stayed busy. And, you know, a couple years ago, we started having people at the shows. So that was good, you know, and ever since then, man, we've just been doing really good, working hard. You know, we tour year round, so just having a lot of fun. Our new album just came out, Outlaw Influence Volume 2. So just having fun, man.
That's
excited
awesome
to be here.
Now, my community, I'm no expert in the music industry. I've got a community of about 80,000 business owners and affiliate marketers, and we normally talk about business and marketing ideas, but the business of the business of music always intrigues me. Tell me about the challenges in the music industry as far as, you know, making money.
I think the music business is one of the most understood businesses there is out there, you know. You can't
Understood or misunderstood?
Misunderstood.
Misunderstood.
Yeah,
Okay.
not nobody understands it.
Right.
But because it's changed over the years, you know, and it's a new day, it's a new game today. Back in the day, you didn't have Spotify, you didn't have Pandora, you didn't have a way to get your music out without help from certain people. Radio was huge, you know, back then. If you didn't get on radio, you didn't have a chance. And so
you're saying it's easier today in a way because of YouTube, Spotify.
guys like me did not exist 20 years ago.
If you didn't have the
there was no independent artist.
Right. I always thought it was the opposite. I was concerned for the artists today, thinking, you know, that there's no money in the album, you know, in the downloads.
It's absolutely opposite.
Oh, really?
I make $50,000 a month on royalties.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So awesome. And then on top of that, the shows
That's
and the
before
events.
touring.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, my whole career, I've spent all my royalties on touring.
Wow.
So I'm just now finally, after all these years, getting that fixed. But
So tell us about your new project right now, the Outlaw Influence Project.
Outlaw Influence Volume 2. Volume 1 came out back in 2020, and it's something I always wanted to do. It's honoring my heroes, these classic country songs that I grew up listening to, and giving them a new life. I have a lot of young fans, and some of them, quite a few of them, have never heard these songs. So it's just honoring these classic country artists and country music in general. And it's something that it was a lot of fun. It's different than doing an original album, you know, because I don't have to write none of the lyrics. And I just get to go in there and sing the song and try to honor, you know, the artist the best I can. So it's something I had a lot of fun doing, for sure.
Awesome. So what does this Patriots Festival mean to you?
Man, it means a lot. I do a lot for veterans. My music, a big part of my music is patriotic in nature. And anytime I can help the veterans in any way, a deal like today, not only do I get to see a band I've never seen 3 doors down, I get to play with Ted Nugent, who was my first concert when I was 5 years old.
Yeah, I've been following him since I was a kid as well.
My first concert was Ted Nugent at
wow.
5 years old, yes.
Wow.
And so, and all the proceeds go to help veterans, and so I couldn't be happier to be a part of it.
Folks, if you're watching this on YouTube or Rumble or what have you, the links are down below where you too can click and participate and donate to the causes that we're celebrating and promoting here at Patriots Fest. And we're also coming up in September of this year. There'll be a second Patriots Fest in North Carolina, so stay tuned for all of that as well. Creed, tell me, what advice would you give to young musicians out there or bands starting out that's trying to get noticed, trying to get successes like you've had? What would you tell any success for any young person to be successful in life? What would you tell them?
Well, life in general, don't go to college and rack up 30 grand of student debt.
30 grand a year.
In today's age,
more like
there's people that never went to college that are making millions of dollars. It's just it's a different time. So, I mean, I see it all the time. These kids, and they come out of school with a degree that nobody wants to hire a job for, you know, and here they are 50, 100 grand in debt, you know. Music's different, you know. Specifically, if I was talking about music, I would say keep it independent, do it yourself. Don't let nobody tell you how to screw something up, okay? Screw it up yourself and figure it out, you know. It's because when you screw it up yourself, you can look in the mirror and know I did it my way and it didn't work, you know. When you let someone else tell you how to mess it up, then you got to go back and do it your way, and now you're just wasting time.
Right.
So the music industry is a very it's fun. It's fun to do what I do, but it's also an industry that there's a lot of sharks. There's a lot of people that don't have your best interest at heart. So I would just be careful who you trust and stay independent. Put your music out yourself. TuneCore is what I used to begin with. That's what I prefer. It doesn't mean the other one's CD Baby. There's lots of them out there. You don't need a manager in the music business until you're going to know. And I always say this: you will know when you need a manager. When you're first starting out, the last thing you need is a manager that charges you money, because you don't have any. And I'll tell you what Colt Ford told me. It blew my mind because it's so true. And I don't know why I never thought of it like this, but he said, if management can't raise your net value by 15%, which is what they get, then that's a bad business deal. They're not earning their own money. So,
right.
You don't need a manager. Do it yourself.
Now, a lot of
just stay true to yourself.
A lot of your music has always been, it's patriotic. It's giving honor to this country. What does, when it comes to like this particular event's mission, which is to unite Americans and not be, it's not a right or left deal. It's about honoring God, country, and family. What do you think of this event, and what do you tell people out there who listen to your music about being patriotic?
Well, I love patriotic events like this, especially when I get to play with and see artists that that I admire. But anytime I can help out veterans, anything that has to do with veterans, I'm all about it, man. And it's a beautiful day out here. It's a beautiful facility, great stage, great PA. The people are starting to come in the door. So I'm just excited to be here, man. Excited to be part of it.
Me too. Excited to be here at Patriots Festival in Aurora, Illinois. Stay tuned to the next event we're going to have in September, in 2024, September in North Carolina. There'll be another Patriots Fest that you too can come to. There's links down below in the show notes that you can click and see the different stuff going on here, and of course participate and donate with the nonprofits that we're supporting with this event. Thank you. Thanks for listening to another episode of Marketing Boost Solutions Podcast with your hosts, Captain Marco Torres. Now it's on you. Take the next step now. Go to marketingboostsolutions.com for more on how you can wow, delight, and surprise your clients with the most amazing draw card on the planet. So stay thirsty, my friends. Stay thirsty for knowledge. See you next time.